ladies and gentlemen. So I have a coworker who's about to have a baby, and one thing I love doing is making artwork for this exact situation. So I went to the store and picked up a couple little frames. I'm gonna do something cool with them. I was totally expecting just to do a painting, but I kind of fell in love with the colors of the paper that's already in these frames. So you'll see what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's see. Before we get too far into this, guys, I want to say the rest of Mermay is not going to happen. I got to about day 15, and between things that I needed to do with work and other artistic opportunities that have come my way, including what you guys are seeing today, I entirely lost interest. And with everything going on and this point in the year, I don't have it in me to force myself to complete big projects. I'm just gonna do what's fun and be creative and move on. And if you were enjoying Mermay, I'm so sorry. But I hope you will forgive me and enjoy this video. What we have here is two of my lovely coworkers are having their first child. And as is tradition with myself, at least, I wanted to make them something for their nursery as a this is a baby. Congratulations, birth baby gift. They are waiting until the birth to find out the gender of the child. And so with that, there was none of the traditional, this is girl, this is boy things, and I had tried to pin them down. When someone is about to have a kid, I try to quietly ask them polite questions and find out information, to be a spy, to find out what I could make them. And whenever I had the chance to sit down with these two, the best I could get from them was forest animals and stuff like that. It was still kind of early whenever I quizzed them about it, and I knew I wanted to do something camping themed because they are woodsy, wonderful Canadians going on hikes and all that kind of crazy goodness. So I had that idea. I had just come off of doing an elephant tessellation for another coworker who had elephants as their theme. And I thought about doing like a campfire tessellation, but that sounded like a lot of work. So then I shifted my idea to maybe like doing some sweet little watercolor paintings of forest animals or something like that, maybe sitting around a campfire. So I pestered my husband to hop in the car so we could go to either IKEA or Flying Tiger or somewhere else where we could get cheap picture frames. We wound up going to Flying Tiger because it was next to a burger restaurant we like. And my choices were white frame, black frame, and wood frame. And it hit me that I had no clue what their color scheme was. I had forgotten to ask that. And, well, I was thinking since there's a woodsy theme, I went ahead and went with the light wood frame. They had a couple different size options, but I particularly liked the larger and two smaller ones. And normally when you buy a frame, they've got like a fake person photograph in there so you can see how great it would be to have family in photos. And this store didn't do that. They instead had just flat color sheets of paper in the frames. And when I got home, I sat down and I was looking at the frames trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. And I really liked the flat colors. The blues were really nice, and I appreciated that they were both blues but two different color tones of blue. So then an idea came to mind. I have not done a paper craft project since the Paper Tiger Scrawler Box challenge. Well, I guess Papercraft could also be the recycled cardboard one. I will link both up above if you want to see them. But I was thinking more towards the Paper Tiger one because it was in a picture frame. And I was thinking maybe I could do something where I draw on the glass and on the paper and combine it like that. But I really liked the blue background and how it was just solid and clear. I dug through my paper storage because, artist, I've got a huge box of paper, and found the sheets that I picked up at Paper Mate when I was in London, and it was just sheets of some neons and pastels, different color tones. And what I appreciate about that is there's like 2 different greens and a couple different orangey reds, and it gave me some opportunity. I threw the papers down onto the frames just to see how they looked with the blues, and it looked really good. I pulled out my iPad and quickly doodled some ideas on top of a photograph of the frames, and then I got started. The larger frame was the easiest one to kind of figure out what to do with, because camping, of course you're going to do a tent. And I had like the lighter green and the dark green. I knew I wanted to do grass and trees behind. And when it came to the tent, I had 2 different oranges, so it would give me an opportunity to do some plain old color shading difference between the front of the tent and the side of the tent. So I started cutting those out, and I also had the red, so that gave me an opportunity to kind of have the darkest color be inside of the tent. So laying all these out, it was really hard to get the precise perspective angle. And after I laid it on, there was too much space going on in the grass, so I went ahead and did kind of a yellow sand area around the base of the tent. At least that was the attempt. In the later ones, I wound up doing a shadow with the darker green. Anyway, so with the tent started, I also wanted to throw in some ropes and posts to continue to add the depth, because when you're creating something that is simple, the more layers you have, it can create more of an effect. And yes, I could have had it be more simple and geometric, but it's still incredibly geometric with all of the extra shapes I added. And that's a little extra fun thing thrown in there because these 2 people are math and science teachers. So, yeah. Moving on to the smaller frames. The first one I originally wanted to do a campfire, but it seemed a little more complicated with different textures and stuff, and how would I exactly get the logs to look right? I didn't have a brown in the paper, and I was using scissors. I couldn't find my X-Acto knife, and I was a little worried about being able to cut things small enough, especially to fit well in the frame. So instead, I went with a Coleman-style gas lantern, or wick lantern. I mean, I guess it kind of looks like it's got a wick. But you often see, when I was a kid and I went camping, we had, the gas fire lantern, and, you turn the little thing and it would release more gas, or it would have a wick. There's multiple different types of things. But I remember the red lantern, and I had a lot of red because I'd barely used it on the tent. I'd only used a little piece, and I don't want to waste the paper, so I chopped out the gas lantern and the fire. I wanted you to be able to see through it because the glass, so only the edges of the glass are white, so you could see straight through the background, and I really enjoyed this one. After I got the lantern done, I moved on to the second small frame, and I was stumped for a long time. I wound up going and looking on Google at images for camping gear, and I looked for camping gear illustrations and just tried to see the different things people would make or would take with them and how they were illustrated by different artists. And you had sleeping bags, you had canteens, binoculars. There were lots of things I could have done, but I wound up going with a compass. It gave me the opportunity, one, use some more of the oranges, because I had, one, a lot of oranges cut out already, and that way it would connect back to the tent. And I don't know, they do orienteering and all kinds of hiking through the woods, so I felt like a compass was appropriate. I had a lot of fun making these pieces. I hope the parents enjoy these pieces. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these pieces, and in the end I want to say congratulations, Colin and Cassandra. You are going to be amazing parents, and I hope you enjoy this art I made you, and I hope you enjoy this video where I talk about how I made it. Whoa! Anyway, guys, wash your hands. I hope you're taking care of yourself physically and mentally. And we're gonna do it, guys. It's gonna be okay. I'll see you next time, hopefully with a dinosaur video. Okay. Bye, guys.